All right, on this episode of the LPDS, we got some more tinfoil hat updates and reminders. I give a quick stream recap from the latest Yankees live stream and the shenanigans that ensued. And I provide some updates on the happenings of the LPDS compound, as well as get into a little doo-doo that Randy had. We'll talk about that in the Junction. All that, plus a nice little Memorial Day message and a Cage fact, as usual, coming at you right now. All right, Jabronis, we're back. Welcome back to the Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I'm your host, Libretti, the show that talks about nothing and tries to find the lessons and everything. We have a good time doing it. Hope everybody had a good week. Mine was busy as usual, productive as usual, not mad about it. Had to deal with bad weather, though. Trying to make progress and movement on the garden. I was supposed to plant the rest of the potted plants in the ground last week, but the rain has just been real bad, and I know rain is good for plants and all, but the way it's been storming here, these plants are too small to survive that. They'll drown again. I posted on my personal Instagram a little update to the experiment I was running with the early plants that I put in earlier than usual to see how they survive. And, we have one tomato plant and one pepper plant that survived out of the three of each I planted. There's two tomato plants in there because of the rogue one that's abundant right now. It's got flowers, it's pollinating, it's looking great. But that's all we got. We just got the two that survived because of the downpours that have occurred, and just it drowns them out. They're too small. Even if I tie them up, they just couldn't make it. So I couldn't plant last week. I'm hoping to plant this week before I go on my work trip. By the time you listen to this, I'll be on the work trip. I'll be on the road already in Oklahoma. So we'll see how it goes. But it's been raining a lot lately, and I'm not a fan of it. So I'm not a fan of it. I mowed my lawn and it's already too high. So by the time I get back from the road trip, it's going to be out of control. So I'll probably have to call my guy, Victor, to come in and take care of business for me while I'm away. But anyway, that's what we got going on here this past week. So I hope you guys had a better weather week. I know up in the Northeast in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, they've been also getting some bad weather too. So I feel for you guys. Anyway, let's just move right along. I don't have too much to rant about. So, well, I literally say that every week. My goal is to not rant for too long about the same topics over and over again, but you know me, sometimes I get heated. I black out. The next thing you know, 25 minutes talking about the same thing that we talked about last week. So, that's the LPDS, folks. Anyway, very quick weekly reminder that the Epstein stuff is still out there and nothing's being done about it. I did see some more releases from the government on UFOs and alien stuff. And let me tell you something. You know how I feel about the alien stuff, so I'm very torn about that because that's right up my alley. And it's like, and they know it. They know, like, we'll give these guys alien stuff, and they'll dig in deep on that, and they'll forget about the fact that the world is being run by pedophiles and murderers and criminals. I still haven't forgot, though. I still haven't forgot, and I'll never forget. An elephant never forgets. So you could throw all the alien stuff at me you want. I'm gonna be diving deep in both. I don't care. So anyway, just a weekly reminder that stuff's still out there. Those people are still in power, unaccounted for, doing whatever they want and enjoying life. Easy over there, Randy. We'll talk about you in the Junction. Don't worry, pal. Anyway, let's just move right on to the next topic. If anybody was part of the stream last week, so this week no stream. A reminder: if you're listening to this throughout this week, no stream because I'm on the road. But last week's stream was a surprisingly fun one. In the beginning, I'll say that in the beginning, there was a rain delay with the game, the Yankees versus Blue Jays game. So for the first hour or so, maybe even more than that, first hour and a half, almost 2 hours of the stream, it was whoever was on the chat was sticking around because we didn't know when the game was actually going to start. I think it was a 2 hour delay. We were just shooting the breeze, playing hangman. I had my whiteboard out, and we were playing baseball player hangman, trying to guess the players with the chat. We were talking about old stories from back in the college days playing ball. We were joking with each other, roasting each other, having a good time doing it, and it was really fun until the game started. Because the Yanks just embarrassed themselves once again. They left their starting pitcher out to dry. Schlittler pitched another gem, and then they ended up still losing because they can't hit. Because they have two guys that are good hitters, Judge and Ben Rice right now, and even Judge is not doing great. He's slumping right now. And then they have 7 guys who bat under 200. And they stink. And I talked about it on the stream. I won't get too far into it. But when the chips are down, when the game's on the line, when there's pressure and they actually need to play baseball, they always do the opposite. They start making errors, no communication. Fundamental baseball just goes out the window for them, and they just stink. And it's just another reminder that if anybody actually thinks this is a World Series competing team, just you're in for absolute heartbreak and disappointment come the end of the season because they're not doing it unless they change things up. And let me tell you something. It's a perfect opportunity when you're slumping as hitters to change things up. And they were doing that for, a couple of the guys were doing that earlier on in the season, trying to bunt, work the count, situational hitting, hit and runs, keep the defense on their toes. And they were actually winning games when they were doing that. So I understand why they don't go and try that again when they're slumping and they're stinking at the plate. If they do that, things can turn around. They could be a competitive team, but they're not going to do that. They just, year in and year out, it's the same song and dance, it seems like. So stay tuned for the next stream. I'll keep you guys posted on when that's going to be. It'll be 2 weeks from now. Probably, hopefully a Wednesday. We'll see. But I do, regardless of the Yankees being good or bad during the games, I love the stream. I love connecting. It's been awesome. It's been awesome. I can't wait for more people, new people to join in on the fun and grow this thing. I'm still racking my brain to find an entertaining, fun way to do it for Spearhead too, because I love connecting in that regard. Maybe I'll do something where like I'm just streaming video games. I'm just playing video games in the background, and then I'm talking leadership with people on the chat. I don't know, like the stream itself, like the video game has something to do with the topic of conversation. I don't know, something. Maybe maybe there's a way to play like online games. Like I know the tech folks like gaming, like board game Settlers of Catan, Warhammer. Can you play that? Is that an online game too? I think the old school one was like a board game type, if I remember correctly. But tap into that community to get them on board, talking about their tech manager jobs and this and that, and then talking leadership to get them tapped in. But I really I'm really trying to find a good way to have a fun, entertaining stream and a value added stream with Spearhead as well, because I think they're awesome. And if I was getting paid for it, I would do it all day, every day. They're just fun. It's just fun to interact. It's crazy to me in a good way that like I'm literally sitting by myself in my house. I got Randy, of course, but I'm still talking to people, dozens of people at any given moment, live, just having a conversation about stuff. So I want to keep doing that. Obviously, in person's better. I enjoy that, but can't all be in the same place at one time all the time. So anyway, if you have any ideas for a spearhead related stream situation, I'm all ears. But that's all I got to say about that. The only other thing I wanted to talk about, well, two things really, in the current event side is for all those who remembered last year and the year before, the mockingbirds are attacking me again. And not with verbal assaults like mockingbirds usually do, but it's the same mockingbird family, I guess. They just find my property as a safe haven to pork and lay eggs and have little babies. Hold on, Randy, relax, buddy. Lay down. And then viciously attack Randy and I in the yard every time we go out there, or if I'm trying to mow the lawn or anything, because they think we're going to take their babies. And I couldn't give a shit less about them. And Randy has literally gone up to them, nose to beak, with these babies on the ground, and has just sniffs them, just is hanging out, just wants to be pals. We have proven time and time again we are not a threat to them. In fact, we're keeping them alive. We're keeping them protected because no hawks are coming in, no pests or rodents are coming in to take these birds because Randy's out there. And they're just very ungrateful. But I got pecked at. Randy got pecked at, and it might have been the cause of his issue, his injury. We'll talk about in the Junction here in a sec. But I don't know what the deal is anyway. The last thing I want to cover is probably the most important. It's Memorial Day weekend. This is the annual reminder to everybody. Memorial Day is to remember the fallen, those who gave the ultimate sacrifice and proverbial, sign on the dotted line, as they say, as a military member, a veteran, and they're no longer with us. And it's a time to remember them and reflect. It should really be an entire month. They have Gay Month coming up next month. Yet Veterans Day and Memorial Day gets 1 day. Barely. And people barely even do anything about it. They're usually just out partying on the weekends, trying to, going on boats, making out, scissoring, doing whatever they do. So this is just a reminder. Take a few seconds to give a shout out and thank them in your head. Talk to the big man upstairs in red, and remember them. And then also, again, another reminder. You don't have to. I know the sentiment, the intent is nice, but Memorial Day is to remember the fallen. You don't have to say Happy Memorial Day. Thank you for your service to living veterans and military members. It's not for us. We get Veterans Day. Let the fallen have their moment. They deserve more than just a moment. But that's what it's for. It's to remember their sacrifice, and those gravestones around the world, where they lay. So, happy Memorial Day. I hope you guys did enjoy the weekend and had a good time and got a chance to relax at least. That is important too. Don't go too overboard, but relax. Take a load off, spend some time with your families, just have a good time and doing fun things with the most important people in your lives, but take some time to remember the fallen. That's all I'm saying. Have a good time. All right. With that, we move right along and get into the good stuff. We'll step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by Snow Cone Fingers. Everybody loves chicken fingers washed down with a fresh carnival snow cone, but what if you can have them both at the same time? Well, now you can with Tony Rigatoni's Snow Cone Fingies. Bite into what looks like a giant steroid pump chicken fingy, only to be surprised by the orgasmic embrace of a shaved ice from someone's garage freezer and flavored with chemicals right from Bill Gates' pedo labs. So to enjoy a refreshing snow cone fingy today, just talk to the guy who cleans the trash from your local ice cream truck. And if you use the promo code Carney's Dinner, you get 29% off your first snow cone fingy. I really got to make a list of what food has been fingied already so I can remember. I wonder if I can send my videos through like AI and be like, hey, analyze these and identify the fingies in the ads and also the cage facts so we can conglomerate them into one spot. I wonder if we can do that. I'm sure there's a way, but I'm not skilled enough to figure that out just yet. I also don't have the time right now to figure that out just yet, so we'll figure it out one of these days. Anyway, the cage fact, quick one. There's actually I saw a couple. I really wanted to get into this other one, but maybe next week if I'll try to remember. But Nic Cage doing his press tour, he's talking about Spider-Man Noir, which comes out the 27th this week. So by the time you're tuning into this, it could already be out. And I'll be definitely watching that on the road in Oklahoma when I'm out there. I wonder if they're going to drop all the episodes at once or if it's just going to be one at a time. Damn it, I hope it's not one at a time. Anyway, he talked about in one of his interviews, he talked about the time he was offered the role of Green Goblin in the 2002 Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. Now, Green Goblin was played by Willem Dafoe, and perfect role for him. I mean, I love Willem Dafoe. He played a perfect Green Goblin. I want you to kill Spider-Man. Just tremendous, tremendous stuff. The only person who would have been better would have been the Great One, but after multiple requests from the studio to get him on board, he told him he turned it down. It wasn't the right role for him, and he was right. The right person for the job was Dafoe, and he didn't do it because he thought Dafoe would be better. He just said this is not right for me, and he ended up filming Adaptation that year. And I know Spider-Man was a big hit in the box office, but Adaptation was also a good movie and a hit, and one of his better movies. If you've seen it, he plays him and his twin brother in the movie. Really good movie. Really good movie. And again, it was a Cage classic, right up his alley. He should have been, at the very least, nominated for awards for that one. I don't know why they didn't. Probably because Spider-Man took all the awards that year or something. I don't know. But that was a tremendous movie anyway. So it worked out for him. But I'm just thinking about Nic Cage as the Green Goblin. It would have been tremendous. I want you to steal a Declaration of Independence. I mean, kill Spider-Man. And then he ends up being Spider-Man in Spider-Man Noir. So it would have been funny. Anyway, that's the Cage fact. There you go. You're welcome. Moving on. Over to the Junction. We'll spin the logo up. I want to share a little bit of a chaotic situation that we had earlier this week. It was actually last Sunday evening. I'm sitting at my recliner at the command center, trying to remember what I was watching. Maybe Better Call Saul or probably Reacher again on a repeat. Maybe there was a game on. I don't exactly know what I was doing. And Randy, he has access to all the other rooms in the house, basically, except for the guest room, because I don't like him on that bed. He's getting all dog hair on the guest bed. In case I have a guest over, which has not happened Well, JPL was here in January or February, and that was it. But otherwise, it's basically for JPL to come once a year. Sometimes Bonji comes down to visit when able. But anyway, I don't want the dog on that bed, so I close that door. But he's got his bed on the futon in the office, the LPDS office. He's got his own bed in my bedroom, the master bedroom. I got the new slip cover for the couch behind me here, so he's got couch access when he's good. You know, if he gets a little rambunctious and rowdy, he's not allowed on the couch. But he'll bounce around to all his different spots throughout the evening, whatever he feels comfortable with. Sometimes he goes to the back window, the sliding door in the master bedroom, to look out the window at ghosts at night. He likes to be on night shift guard duty out there. And so Sunday night, I'm sitting there and I see him in my peripheral vision. He walks back over behind to my right where I'm pointing in YouTube land. Behind this wall is my front door. He'll lay on the carpet there sometimes. So that's what he did. I wasn't paying attention to him. I just saw him in my peripheral vision while I'm watching whatever I was watching. Maybe Rocky, who knows? And all of a sudden I hear him scratching and I hear him shaking his head a lot. And usually gets, like, when he has something in his ear, he does that. And I call for him, like, hey, Randy, get over here. And he comes over and he gets in front of me. So I see his left side. Everything looked okay. And he jumps on the couch and he's going to do his spins around on the couch. And while he spins around, I see his right side. And his right side, from his ear down his neck and back, the left side of his back is bright red, blood-stained bright red. And when you looked at it, I don't even know. I have a pic. I took a picture of it. I don't even know if I want to post a picture. It's just kind of gruesome looking, and I don't really kind of feel like doing that. People might get grossed out or whatever. It looked like he was either in a what's the fight I'm thinking of? Not a gang fight, but like he was jumped by multiple people, multiple dogs, or he was shot. I mean, there was blood everywhere. So for a split second, I thought he was in real trouble. The only reason why I stayed calm, cool, and collected is because he was feeling fine. He was calm, cool, and collected. He wasn't whimpering. He wasn't limping. He was just acting normal. So I was like, okay, this must be just something smaller that he's just irritating further and blood is pouring out from it or whatever. So I pinpoint what the issue was. He got a cut on his inner ear on the flap, not inside the ear hole, but on the flap of his big ear, his floppy ear, on one of the creases where it bends. He had a little cut, like the size of a pimple. And what he was doing was he was scratching at it, and then he was shaking his head when the pouring blood, because there's a lot of vessels in the ear, which is something the vet actually said could be dangerous. If it was a big cut, it bleeds out super fast, and it could be problematic if you're losing too much blood. But it was a small cut, thankfully, but it was still pouring out blood, and it was tickling his ear, so he would get the shakes, the head shakes, and he was getting it all over his body. So his whole side was blood-stained. So I spent probably close to an hour getting him cleaned up. I got him into the guest bathroom, into the shower there to wash it down, but I had to scrub it out of him. It was stained in his white fur. And that's when it's a bad time to have a white dog, is when you're getting stains out of them like that. Any sort of stain, dirt, pee-pee, blood, anything. Grass stains, it's a nightmare. The only good thing about it is you know when it's clean because it's white again. And I'm scrubbing, and he doesn't like being in the water. I felt bad. He kept shaking again every time because he didn't like the water, and the cut was gushing again, and it was just endless. It took, like I said, an hour to get him cleaned up, dried up, and then get some sort of stoppage clotting on that cut. And I was doing all the makeshift stuff you possibly can. I had Neosporin to clot it and to help heal it because Neosporin is tremendous on cuts. And then I tried to put a Band-Aid on, and the Band-Aid wasn't sticking to his ear. And then I found I have this roll. I should have brought it with me right here. I have this roll of athletic tape. This roll of athletic tape is 16 years old. 2016 or 2010 is when I got it. I know that because it was from the baseball team, college baseball team. Grab the athletic tape because you can, I was taping stuff up. A lot of times I had to tape some stuff over my knees because if I was running for the catcher and I was stealing bases and sliding, the Oskenschlatter pokes out and I cut my knee a lot easier. So I would tape my knees up. I taped my bat up with it. It was just white roll. I think they call it actually hockey tape because the hockey players use it to wrap their sticks. But I use it to wrap my bats, everything. That's what it was. And I also use it for Band-Aids for myself, like a nut job, because I never felt like buying Band-Aids. I always had the tape. So I still had this roll. It's 16 years old, and it's tried and true. It never fails me. Every time I have a cut, I have to shave my ears when I shave my head because I grow a lot of ear hair, which apparently means you got good circulation. To me, it means I'm a grotesque wop Italian, and the hair just has to grow everywhere on me like an animal. So I got to shave the actual like ear lobes and outside my ear, not just the inner ear hair that old men get. I got ear hair, like afro, like I could do a buzz cut. Sometimes I cut my ear, and that bleeds a lot. So athletic tape wraps right around the cartilage here, and it's good to go. So I had that roll. I was like, well, it works on my ear. Let's try it out with old Randy, and it worked enough to stop the bleeding. And he wasn't scratching at it or trying to get it to knock it off or whatever. So it did its job. And then I go into my room to get ready for bed. So it was an hour of that. We hung out for a little bit on the couch. I wanted to monitor him to make sure the bleeding didn't keep going. It wasn't bleeding through the tape and that he wasn't irritated by it. So then I can feel a little bit better knowing he'll sleep through the night and not reopen it in our sleep or whatever. And then we went to bed, and I get into the room. And when I tell you it looked like a murder scene, it looked like a murder scene. Because he kept shaking his head, and the blood was just, pouring out, I guess, and pooling everywhere. And then he was walking on it. Thank God I didn't have a carpet in my room or even a throw rug. I'm terrible with interior decorating, and I'm thankful for that today because there was blood splotches all over the floor. The white walls had dried blood splotches all over them. They got into the bathroom on the mirror, and of course, they got onto my down comforter on my bed, my white down comforter that I took out of the dryer not 2 hours prior. I just cleaned it, and it's splattered. Thankfully, it's not all over the top of the cover. It's just on the side because Randy's not tall enough to go, his head doesn't go over the bed. So when he was shaking, it was hitting the side of the blanket there. And that's it. It's stained in there. Can't get it out. I was able to clean the walls and the floor, though, and I can wash his bed and get a good portion of it out there. But I didn't take a picture of it because I was just, at that point, I was like, I'm so fed up with this. It took me an hour just to clean him up, and now I have to clean this up and make sure he doesn't walk in on the blood splotches any further to spread it even further. It was just all over. And then I had to go and check every other room that he was in to clean up those messes too, because he splotched everything. And once again, I am not an interior decorator. So the paint job in this house is as is when I bought the house, which is a light, off-white color, which is what you paint houses to sell them. And again, it looked terrible, but I'm thankful for it because now I can see where the blood was. I can see where I have to clean up. And luckily it was dried, so I can basically just scrape it off with like a sponge or a Brillo pad or whatever, and it came off pretty easily, no problem. It didn't stain the walls or anything or the floor. I have like this composite vinyl linoleum kind of hybrid flooring thing. It's not the super cheap fake wood, but it's not the super high end fake wood. It's like in between there, so it kind of looks like wood, but it's not cheap plastic or whatever. So I was able to clean that off. And I think I got to bed like an hour after I wanted to because of it. And I was tired, and I was blood. My hands had all the blood stains on them themselves, like I was crushing grapes or something, or strawberries. Why did I say strawberries? I never say strawberries. That's losers say it like that. And that's what I had to deal with. Now, I wouldn't care as much, but because I'm going on this work trip this week, I needed to get that cut healed before Randy goes to boarding, because he likes to play and mix and mingle with his pals over there. And he's always coming back with nicks and scrapes, and because I see him on the cameras. He's always going out trying to hump somebody and play with them and be pals and this and that and do dog stuff, and somebody's going to open that cut up. And it's going to be a bloodbath, a literal bloodbath. And I'm not equipped to come back and deal with that. I don't have any really emergency contacts for the kennel to call and be like, hey, pick up Randy while Libretti's out because he's hurt. He's bleeding everywhere. I don't have any of that. So he has to be healthy. What I will be doing though is I'm going to let them know about the cut. We went to the vet. We got antibiotics. We got some cream, like some doggy Neosporin, prescription strength. The cut's healing fine. He hasn't scratched it once. He doesn't need the cone. They said they recommended putting a cone on. I was like, I'll watch him. He's not going to need the cone. He just takes the cone off anyway. And I've seen him do it. And the only way I can get him to not do it is if I basically choke him with the cone so he can't push it off with his paw. And I don't want to choke him to death, obviously. So I didn't really want to use the cone. I had to find out another way, and we found it. We were able to do it this week, and it's been good so far. So I'm going to give them the little antibiotic cream. I'm going to let them know, hey, you got to be on the lookout for this because I am not physically here to pick him up. He needs to stay healthy and not stained in blood because that's it. There's nobody, otherwise you're stuck with him that way. And then I have to clean him up after the fact. So that's what I've been dealing with. Like I said, I didn't have much else going on this week. The trip prep for that. I ordered some clothes to get ready for Italy, some cheap clothes on Amazon. Discount, of course. I got to hit the sticks a lot. That was nice this week. Catch up with the pals, which was good. And then monitoring Randy to make sure that he was in a good place to go have fun with his pals without worrying about bleeding out again. And I say bleeding out figuratively, like he wasn't going to die, but it was a lot of blood. It was enough that it was, an absolute nuisance. And I almost wish I took pictures of my bedroom. It looked like OJ's house. It was all over the place. It looked like he legit had a fight with another animal or got shot. The way it splattered everywhere, because when you do the head shake, the tick, 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 it was like a sprinkler all over the walls, all over the place. It was absolute, man. And again, it couldn't come at a worse time of night, the middle of the night, when all you want to do is chill out and then go to bed, throw in a fat cheeser, and then go to sleep. And Randy had other plans. But that's the only excitement going on in the LPDS compound this weekend, and of course the attacking birds. And I think there's a chance, there's an outside chance that when Randy was sniffing those baby birds, he got clipped in the ear by one of the adult birds. I don't know for sure because he's gotten a cut in that spot before. It's sort of a hot spot in his ear because, again, it's right on the crease where his floppy ear bends back. And if he scratches it, it gets tender quickly. And then when he has allergies, like attacks or whatever, when he gets the rashes, he's scratching the ears a lot, and it creates a redness and rash in that spot a lot. So it could have just been he was scratching too much and he cut it open, or it could have been the attack. I don't have any way to do forensics. I can't. They don't do beak prints to check to see if the beak prints match to those birds. But I got to tell you, it has taken every ounce of me to not go full-on combat mode against these damn mockingbirds. And the only reason I'm not doing it is because I have too many friends that keep telling me that they love birds and you should be, protect them and make sure that they're safe and stuff. And I'm doing that. The problem is we're getting nothing in return. There's no respect. There's no agreement going on between me and the mockingbirds that they're going to leave us alone as long as we keep protecting them. They're just ungrateful. And they keep attacking. So I defend myself right now with a towel. It's a towel I use to wipe Randy's paws when it rains and he has to go outside. I just hold it with me so that I can swing it around my head and keep them away without actually hurting them. I might stun them if I actually catch one of them. But what I really want to do is go out there with the baseball bat or grab JPL3's slingshot and start having a field day with them. Because there's just no respect at all. And then if I find out that they're the ones who hurt my boy, look what they did to my boy, it's all over. So all the animal lovers out there, all the bird lovers that keep telling me, oh, be nice to them, protect them, give them a safe home. If I find out that the birds were responsible for what they did to my boy, my sweet boy, my grand champion, it's over. It's over for them. All of them are going down. And I'm going to film it, and I'm going to put it out there for everybody to see. All their bird friends. I'm going to put out a projector outside so that all the other bird pals in the area can see this is what happens to you when you attack my boy. Never again will it happen. I promise you that. So you all you bird lovers out there, you all better hope that they weren't the culprits here. They weren't the perpetrators. And it was just Randy scratching himself a little too aggressively. You better hope. I hope it wasn't them, because I really don't have the time to go to battle right now. We got work trip. We got Italy coming up. Spearhead. We got to focus on what's important here. I just don't have the time to stop everything I'm doing again to go to war. But I will do it. You know this. If we have to do it, we will do it. It's a last resort. It's an absolute last resort, and I absolutely don't want to do it or have the time to do it, but we will if we have to. So, birds, be warned. If you have evidence connecting you to the crime against my dog, you better burn it now. You better destroy all the evidence you can. Because if I find out, oh man, if I find out, you are going to wish you died a quick, painless death, because I am going to make you feel it. I am going to make you feel it, birds. mockingbirds, completely disrespectful sons of bitches. Anyway, Randy's fine. He's doing well. No more bleeding this week. Seems to be okay. I'll keep you posted how he does at Camp Bow Wow with his pals. Hopefully things go well. And that's all I got to say about that. Before we go, very quickly, the big three, the three pillars of staying strong and being a better, happier, kinder, healthier, less stressed, more genuine human being, being able to spread that positivity and goodness to all those around you and throughout the land. Number one, exercise every day. Do something every day to improve your health and wellness and fitness, physically, mentally, or emotionally. Number two, hardest one to do, don't be a shitty person. Be a kind person. Don't be negative. When the opportunity arises to be negative and shitty to somebody, take a deep breath, take the LPDS step back, detach from those negative emotions, and remove yourself from the situation. Put your phone down, close the laptop, walk away, end the conversation, whatever you got to do. Just minimize the negativity going on in your life, and that will allow you the capacity to go focus on more positive, productive things like exercising. Number three, the most important one, be genuinely thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your lives. And you can do this a little bit each and every day by taking a few seconds to think about one good thing in your life or something good that happened to you in the last 24 hours and think about what your life would be like without that thing. And that will immediately put you in that state of gratitude, thinking, man, thank God I have a roof over my head during this rainstorm because I would be miserable out there in the rain. And when you're in that state of gratitude, it's a lot easier to remove yourself from the negative, shitty situations in your life, which will in turn allow more capacity to go focus on more positive, productive things like exercising. And if you do these three things a little bit each and every day, repetition, 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 I promise you'll be a better, happier, kinder, healthier, less stressed, more genuine human being and be able to spread that positivity and goodness to all those around you and throughout the land. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends and enemies and hit the hotline 202-670-1114. I'm going to be sending out stuff on Instagram and maybe Facebook and whatever on questions and topic and episode topics and stuff so I can film ahead of time, ahead of my Italy trip. So we got LPDS, episodes while I'm gone. So stand by for that, but then call the hotline to let me know your thoughts on the topics and the questions you have and the answers to the poll questions, whatever it is. I want to hear it. I love to hear it. Hit that hotline, 202-670-1114. Thank you guys again. I love you all. Stay strong.